Okey, okey. Berkata aja. Okey, kamu siap. Sikit.
Pulau Pinang untuk pengetahuan di Pulau Pinang, dan pada tengah kajian teori yang lain kita masih lagi menunggu.
Jadi untuk tahun 2015 daripada 24 puas sekolah Mubaligh akan terima bantuan kewangan. Jumlah peruntukan untuk sekolah Mubaligh untuk tahun ini ialah RM1,175,000 untuk 20 buah sekolah Mubaligh. 2 buah sekolah yang tidak membuat permohonan, saya rasa mungkin mereka sudah sempurnakan semua kemudahan, jadi mereka tak perlu peruntukan, iaitu SMK Convent Bukit Mentajam dan SK Convent Bukit Mentajam. SK Convent Bukit Mentajam saya tahu last year punya peruntukan 70,000 belum dilaksanakan, kerja belum dibuat kerana ada sedikit masalah di antara PIBG dengan tuan tanah. Manakala ada 2 buah lagi yang membuat permohonan tetapi tidak layak untuk terima permohonan adalah SMK The Lucky Methodist. Mereka meminta untuk peruntukan untuk membina bangunan serbaguna 2 tingkat, tetapi kerana tak ada sijil untuk mula kerja lagi. Sekiranya mereka dapat COW ini tahun ini, dia boleh buat permohonan lagi. Dan kita akan timbangkan, mungkin Ketua Menteri akan timbangkan. Kerana tak ada COW, jadi tidak akan ditimbangkan. Kerana sekiranya kita diperuntukkan, tapi dia tak boleh start kerja, duit itu tidak akan diguna. Nanti satu ialah SMK St. George Balai Pula, kerana peruntukan tahun lepas belum diguna lagi. Sekolah yang tidak menghabiskan peruntukan tidak akan diberi peruntukan pada tahun depan. Jadi saya harap semua sekolah, wakil-wakil sekolah sempurnakan semua projek tahun ini supaya tahun depan boleh pohon lagi. Saya juga nak menyuruh supaya sekolah mendubuhkan satu jawatan kuasa penyelenggaraan dan pengurusan harta benda sekolah supaya sebarang kerosakan bangunan dan infrastruktur dapat dikesan dan diperbaiki dengan secepat mungkin. Ia boleh memanjangkan jangka hayat kemudahan-kemudahan dan infrastruktur sekolah dan juga dia boleh penyelenggaraan atau perbaikan boleh dijalankan secara lebih sistematik. Kerana ada sekolah, dia dapat peruntukan, dia buat awning, tapi ada bangunan sudah menjadi bahaya sampai tak boleh guna. Jadi kerana mungkin dia tak kesan kerosakan kepada struktur-struktur. Sekiranya ada satu komiti, if you have a committee and you buat inspection tiap-tiap tahun, 1 kali atau 2 kali, saya rasa you will find which one is more urgent to repair, and it will be more systematic. For example, if the wiring, your wire has been 20 years, you not change, you might think when you want to change the wire. Or the roof maybe has already 50 years have not changed, or 90 years have not changed. You might want to change the roof first. If your day one, I've been to one school a few years ago, the door of the day one is going to fall down any time. But then the school have a lot of things to do, so you will have to know which one to do first. I give you contoh, SK St. Mark Patut is a wiring problem. It's 105 years old, this school. And the school, the structure of the classroom is all 1 floor. The move, got 2 tingkat punya dah. Ani got 1 block, ani got 2 floor. No, all 1 floor. Yeah. So it's like, that they dapat some money, so they think which one to do here, do first, they do first. So there is no overall plan. I think if you have an overall plan, then you can decide this year what you want to do, next year what you want to do. Maybe it will be a better way of using the money. SK Convert Structure bangunan tidak ukur actually has been announced by JKR as dangerous. It cannot be used. 6 classrooms at the first floor cannot be used because the tangga, the one you go up the staircase, is already dangerous. So they have not enough classroom. The student have to use canteen as classroom. But the year before, I think they received some money. They repair other things. They didn't know it is already become so dangerous. So we have decided we will form a technical committee. If the school have problem of identified, or you are not sure which one is more dangerous, which one you do first, you want to do first, you can consult our technical committee. Because we also have the roof, for example, you want to, roofing is leaking. And is it the roof has been 90 years old? But they are also school, the roof is 13 years old, but you want to change the whole roof. So I think we need to have increase our knowledge on buildings, on all these building materials, so that we are better informed how to make decision, which one to change first. I mean, I also don't know anything about building before this, but after 6 years, got a little bit of knowledge. We also kind of can know if you want to change the roof, agak-agaknya, how much it will cost. If you want to repair the floor, what kind of material you use. Sometimes we will ask, why you use this material? They are cheaper material. I think we do not need to use the best material because maybe your school, your classroom is already 50 years old. So it's no point you use the best of the material. So di setiap sekolah akan diberi notis kelulusan sementara nanti. Sila baca, you go back, you have to baca dengan teliti notis tersebut. Sekolah sepatutnya menghantar dokumen permohonan yang lengkap sebelum atau pada hari tutup permohonan. Lembaga pengarah dan PIBG sekolah dikehendaki menghantar dokumen sokongan yang lengkap kepada jawatankuasa dalam tempoh masa seminggu. Peruntukan tidak akan disalurkan kepada sekolah sekiranya sekolah gagal menghantar dokumen yang lengkap dalam tempoh masa yang ditentukan. Because this money we have to account to our auditor. If we don't have all the documents, we might be in trouble. And pihak kewangan also tak mau keluarkan wang kerana sekarang mereka mau capai 4 star, 4 star. They want to be at the high performance end. So I hope all schools please cooperate. And I think sekolah Mubaligh sekarang have some schools, the church has come back. They want to form, I think they form a board to take care of the school. But for last many years, it's a PIBG who handles the permohonan and also using the money. So I think if the church has come back and you have formed board, I would really appreciate if you can work with PIBG, work it out, so that we do not have a problem of, I think now we have a problem of who we give the money to. Because you used to give to PIBG. Now the board has come back, but the board did not work out with PIBG, so it's still the PIBG who submit the permohonan. And the money will go to PIBG. So unless you work it out, and you inform us much earlier. And we would like to see that the PIBG working together with the board, so that you can work together, you will have more people to contribute for the welfare of the school. So that's all I'm going to report. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Terlebih dahulu, habiskan berduka yang ada.
Saya nak mula dengan mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Yang Berhormat Chong Eng serta semua ahli lembaga pengarah atas usaha mereka untuk menentukan mana sekolah yang layak dan jumlah yang mereka harus diberikan. Ini bukan kerja mudah kerana kalau dapat cukup mungkin rasa tak puas hati terhadap Chong Eng. Tapi yang penting ialah saya harap semua boleh faham kerana akhirnya semua boleh dapat. So saya rasa itulah prinsip yang penting sekali. I think as mentioned by YB Chong Eng just now, a total of 1.175 million ringgit was distributed to 20 missionary schools throughout the whole of Penang. And the various infrastructure projects were given, and they were all mentioned by YB Chong Eng just now. I do not intend to repeat what she said. For the members of the media, please refer to my speech that is distributed to you on the proportion of funds dispersed for what purpose. I just want to mention one item which I think is very important and close to our hearts. That is toilets. We feel that toilets are very important. And I know when you talk about governance, why is the Chief Minister interested in toilets? Especially female toilets. You know, when you talk about toilets, men have these cubicles, urinals. So even though they have 2 cubicles, but when they have 3 urinals, actually there is 5. But female toilets only got 2. They can't be standing up now. So they got 2. And that is why there's always a longer queue for female toilets. And we have decided that the time has come for us to ensure gender equality, even in toilets. By trying, as far as the government is concerned, let's say you've got 2 cubicles and 2 urinals, then you must have 4 cubicles for female toilets. Agree or not? Agree, then clap lah. And that is why we feel that we hope that the schools can also do the same. First, we start by ensuring cleanliness. I was talking to urology. Some of their patients have got urinary tract problems. Why? Because when they were in school, the toilets are so dirty they cannot go and use. They tahan, they hold on until they go back home. I will go into your school and check whether your toilet is clean. We will do spot checks on. Every time I go to school, I will go and do a spot check on the toilets. So I think let us make the toilet a place, not say they want to go lah, but they have no fear of going. It must be bright, it must be clean, and it must be modern. That's why we say this, we give money for toilet improvement. And this is right at the top of our priority. So we hope that we want Penang schools not only to be the best in Malaysia, but also have the best toilets. You know, when they go on inspection for any buildings, the first thing they check is not your canteen, you know. The first thing they check is the toilets, isn't it? So I think we must try to attain and achieve that. And we have actually started at our public facilities, and some of our efforts have been successful. Although kita masih kena usaha lagi lah. Macam kita lihat pasar, you look at our markets. Have you ever been to Aida Market? You who have been to Aida Market, put your hand. Have you gone into the toilets or not? Have you gone to the Aida Market toilet? Put up your hand. I ask you, clean or not? Clean or not? 5-star toilet or that one. Ini tanda 5 bintang. And then of course under YB Wise constancy. Every year we get the #1 prize for the cleanliness toilet in Penang, and I live in Malaysia for markets. And I got one. I went down to Johor Bahru for dinner. I met one person. He just came out from Penang. Of course he praised Penang, but he kept talking about Aida Market toilet. Oh, why you really talk about toilet? Then he told me that why I talk about toilet was I had bad stomach problem. I had no choice, I got to go. So it was the marketplace. I know it's going to be very dirty, what to do, emergency. And then when I was shocked, you know. Toilet's all clean, cleaner than my house. So after I use the toilet, he keep on remembering the toilet. So every time when he thinks about Penang, he only thinks about the toilet. He wants to go back to Penang because he wants to revisit the toilet. I never knew toilet can be a tourist attraction. So that shows that if you have clean toilets, I think it will create a very congenial and conducive atmosphere. And let us start in our schools. Because if we can have our schools having clean, dry toilets, I'm sure they will be more motivated to come to school and study. So we hope that our schools, our missionary schools, can do the same. After all, when we talk cleanliness, we always say that cleanliness is next to godliness. Kebersihan adalah keimanan. So I think these are very, very important values that we want to inculcate amongst our schools. We know that some of the schools need to be renovated and repaired because, you know, in Penang we have the best schools. Well, the best schools because also the older schools. And we hope that the sums that we are giving today will go some way towards bridging your funding requirements. I would definitely be very honest to say that we cannot solve your financial needs because this is not the main source. The main source should come from the federal government. Ours is only just some bonus contributions or allocations from the state government. But if the federal government, what they have given or what they have not given, at least we contribute a little in the hope that it will help to start off repairs or renovations for existing schools. And we hope that with better physical features, we can also have better teaching to produce outstanding human talents. Now we know that the amount we have given is not much. But then again, even though the amount we have given is not much, but unfortunately this year what we have given has also diminished. And you know why it's diminished, is it? GST. You know, when we do public projects, do roads, do drains, do green parks, even upgrading markets for the benefit of the public, we are also charged GST. The state government also has to pay 6% GST. That means our development funding projects will naturally be reduced by 6%. But luckily we got the funds to go and at least make up that 6%. So we still continue as normal. And if the state government, public works, are also faced with 6% GST imposition, then of course when you do your new buildings or repairs, definitely you also have to pay 6% GST. And that is very unfair because it is not for profit, it is for the public. This is not profit. Now the federal government don't care. Kasar saja. They kasar saja. GST is not kasar. It's not goods and services tax. It's kasar sampai tutup. And it's really a burden with that 6%. For schools, you also have to pay 6%. So I think because education is such an important investment, if we want to win the future, I think the first requirement is that you must invest in education. So I would like to suggest to try to avoid paying the 6% GST. I'd like to suggest that all the missionary schools combine together, write a joint memorandum to the finance minister, of course our prime minister, and ask him, please waive the 6% GST on expenditure by schools. You don't give us any money, never mind. Want to take away some more. Not fair, isn't it? So we say jangan macam itulah. Wang tak bagi, tak apa, nak angkat lagi. Ini memang tak patut. So we hope that perhaps in order to conserve funds right to the finance ministry, if they can't wait, at least allow you to reclaim back the 6% as a rebate, reclaim back. Can that be done? Can that be done? I hope you all can organize yourself and sign this memorandum to the finance ministry. Hopefully they can give the exemption. I think it's very crucial. I cannot understand why public projects are also required to pay GST. This just doesn't make sense. This does not compute. This is completely illogical. And I think a government that does illogical things doesn't deserve to be a government. And that's why it's important that right students be reminded that you are government. You are supposed to look after public interest, not impose taxes on non-profit activities. And education is definitely one area that we should give emphasis to. And for Penang, for Penang, without any natural resources, completely reliant on human capital, we have to develop and build our human talents. We have no oil, we have no gas, we have no timber, we have no land also. We only have people. And if we don't develop our human talents, I think we are in trouble. Whether we like it or not, Penang live or die by our wits and wits alone. And we must invest in education, especially science and technology. And in that aspect, today is one of the expressions of a commitment towards education, giving annual allocations to Chinese schools, Tamil schools, Sekolah-Sekolah Rakyat, and of course missionary schools, as well as independent Chinese schools. Today is actually, we give 12 billion every year. 12 million, that was never given before. We give it every year, and I'm sure if you look over the last 6 years, the amounts have given have approached 60 million. Not big over 6 years, but still I'm sure go some way towards making your school bigger, better, and brighter. But the other one I think we need to emphasize is that our education. We must not forget science and technology. We are a developing state. We want to escape the middle income trap. We want to be a high income economy. To do that, you must have innovation. Innovation is the key economic driver for any economic development, especially transformation towards a high income economy. And how do you nurture innovation? Two things. Number one, knowledge. Number two, make sure there is sufficient venture capital. And of course, thirdly, there must also be risk takers and entrepreneurs. Some of these skills cannot be taught. That must be available in the marketplace. But I think Penang we have them. What the government needs to do, we let the venture capitalists who will invest in funding for this innovation, new innovation. We leave it to the entrepreneurs to develop in the marketplace. The government's responsibility is to develop knowledge, especially science and tech. And towards this purpose, we know that science and technology in Malaysia is approaching crisis point. Not only are we behind cities like Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Korea, but what is most unacceptable is that we are even behind countries like Thailand and Vietnam in terms of science and mathematics. And in Penang, we have tried to do our little bit, even though this is a federal jurisdiction, to develop science and tech by setting up Penang Science Cafes. I don't know whether you know about Penang Science Cafes, where we have an informal setting. We get young kids to come over. We know kids nowadays are very good with their fingers. But then unfortunately, they are good in their fingers to play computer games. So what we do is that we teach them robotics. Use their fingers. Turn Lego sets, immobile stationary Lego sets into moving robots. We have started in Jabala constituency, in Crystal, Suits. We are doing another one spending 5 million ringgit for refurbishment at Wisma Yak Choi, a much bigger effort. And we are going even on the mainland. We hope we can teach our kids robotics together with the private sector. Number one. Number two, we are doing STEM teaching at the Kepada Learning Center next to Kampung Bawah. The first one in Malaysia. You all know what is STEM teaching, isn't it? STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. This is the in thing in the West, so that you don't get left behind on science and technology. We are doing also our international science fair, the #1 science fair in Malaysia. So successful and big, we have to do it in the stadium. I do not know whether you have come to our international science fair. Have you been there? Anyone been there? Put up your hands. One here. I think all schools should come for our international science fair. It is really state of the art. Why? Because it is not run by government, it is run by the industry. Multinational operations like Intel, Motorola, B. Brown, Honeywell, National Instruments, Agilent, Altera, AMD, the top technology companies in the world, and they give you cutting edge of technology. One year their feature was holograms. They show holograms they never saw before. Last year, they show you drones. Not just the drones you do with the remote control. Drones you control with your hand. You put your hand, right hand, leave your right hand, you go right. Do your left hand, you go left. Come forward, you come forward and make you. Incredible. The latest technology is on display. Not in America only. Not in Germany only. They are also here in Penang. And finally, in this very building, we are building the Penang Tech Dome, modeled after the San Jose Tech Dome in California, where we hope to have discovery science centers. We hope to have technological showcases from top companies in the world at the Dome. We are spending around 24 million together with the private sector, because we want Penang to be the COE, the Center of Excellence for Science and Technology, #1 in Malaysia, because our students and our teachers are #1 in Malaysia. And finally, another new effort by us is to introduce dual vocational teaching, the German vocational education, not the Malaysian version, but the German version, where courses are taught in the factories. You learn and work at the same time. And if you can get it off, we'll be starting at the end of the year. We hope that this will interest those students who are not interested in studying textbooks, but want to study by using their hands. Give them another option, especially focus on science and technology. This government, our Penang state government, we are focused on science and technology like never before. Even though I know nothing about science, I'm an accountant and not like this. But we know that this is our future. Innovation, invention, creativity. We hope you can join us on this journey. Of course, beginning, improve our basic infrastructure. Later, come and join our programs, our efforts, our teachers. Our teachers are different, not like you. We know you are all overloaded nowadays. I know a lot of teachers got to spend until 2-3 a.m. go and put into the computer. Don't know type what, also don't know. Oh, everybody get high blood pressure when after that. Sometimes it can be very difficult to get online. Just don't know what the education ministry wants our teachers to do. Instead of teaching kids, they are glued to the laptop. What we want is teaching, and teaching with a difference. Because we do not want to overburden our teachers. We have got another group of teachers to come in. Engineers who work at the top multinational corporations in Baru and Lepas. They, as part of CSR, they are teaching the students. And because they are engineers where they make things work, they can make science come alive. And we hope that will rekindle interest amongst young kids to take up science and technology. So these are some of the efforts that we are doing. And we think that this is very exciting for our kids. And if we can translate that excitement to them, I think that there is hope for Penang. Hope for Penang's future. A brighter, better, stronger, and more dignified future for our kids. And that is what I think you are all here for. To give our kids good education so that they can live their lives with dignity. Thank you very much.
Seterusnya bagi kadun
Ada, together, tepuk tangan sikit. Together. Okey, aja. Together aja. Okey, kamu siap. Sikit.